Why is it that twin flames, it seems like they cannot stop thinking about each other, especially you? Why is that? Well, we're going to talk about that. Let's talk about you first, because this is the obvious one. So the real answer is that it's mechanics, right? And you guys know I'm the science guy. I'm looking at this phenomenon of twin flames and I'm going, well, if it's real, there has to be a rational explanation. It's either completely made up bullshit, twin flames, or it's real and there's an explanation, right? And one of the things that you see on the internet, this happens a lot, guys. Oh, it works different for everybody. Oh my God, dude. No, guys, the sun does not shine for a different reason for everybody. Your soul does not do the mechanics. Like, for example, reincarnation. How does that work? How does this pure information cloud condense itself into a physical form? How does that work? What is the mechanism? It's the same for everybody. Now, you could be having a different story, sure. That's going to be different for everybody. Think about it this way. When I think about the soul and the incarnated physical body, best analogy I ever heard is a television set. It's a television, your body is like a television set, which it doesn't have a channel dial to change the channel. It doesn't have that. The television was actually made to only tap into one channel. That's your body. And your astral body too, the mind, which is what we're talking about in this video, right? So your soul thus is like a different frequency. This is actually a really good analogy to explain how that works, right? Because the soul basically is a probability wave in the field. They used to call it the ether, but you're not supposed to say that word anymore. So scientists now, they call it the field, you know, same thing, basically. Maybe a little different, but that's your soul. It's a disturbance in the field. It's a wave. It's not like a tangible thing, okay? It's abstract. It's information. This even ties in perfectly with everything that modern physicists have to say about how our universe works. You know, like information realism. They have a theory called information realism. Max Tegmark, he's a brilliant physicist, you guys. Highly respected. He's going to tell you that physical reality is like excess baggage. Okay? This higher plane, the emptiness of space, if you will, is full of information, and that's real reality. That's actually the substrate of physical reality. It's the foundation, it's the platform. Physical reality was just built up off the top of that, but the real substrate, the frame, if you will, is this abstract information. Okay, so that you could have some kind of a triggering event with this person, yeah, that's real. That's why you're thinking about him so much. So you meet this person, you're the same soul, right? And that's not hard to understand how that would work. It's just this, guys. It's reincarnation. We already know about this, right? We know about this stuff. This is old news. And there's lots of evidence for it, by the way. There's a bunch. I'll give you some resources so you can see what I'm talking about. But you're the same soul vibration. Well, your mind is externalized, and it thinks it needs to get what it needs, whatever it thinks it needs, energy from out there. If you think of your you, the mortal human. You are a mortal human, right? Body, mind, soul, right? The mind is like an engine and the soul is like the gas tank, if you will. That's how the three-part triune being functions. So again, I'm talking mechanics. Yes, it's the same for everybody, right? Now, again, the programming that goes on the television set could be different. Yes, that's how it could be different for everybody, but the television set works the same for everybody, guys. And that's all you need to know to succeed with your twin flame, guys. So the mind, it gets its sustenance from the soul, and your soul is its own frequency. Every soul is a unique, like, television channel, radio frequency. Every soul is, okay? And they've even done all these studies into like sound waves and just waves in general, how you can store information in them and how when you work that backwards, it always returns to where it started from. Okay, so there's like origination instructions in a wave. So there's some interesting science behind that, you guys. So when you meet this person who is the same exact soul frequency as you are, your mind likes it a lot, doesn't it? Because it's your TV channel. And again, none of the stuff that I'm explaining to you is even the slightest bit presumptuous or like I'm stretching the science a little bit. I know a lot more about physics and relativity and technology and stuff like that I'm letting on. You're maybe a new subscriber, you have no idea who I am. But that's what I'm into. I'm into science and technology and engineering, and I know a lot about this stuff, guys. And I met my twin flame, and we're together. And I'm here to tell you, man, you can explain this stuff easily. I've got a whole playlist, as a matter of fact. Don't let me forget to mention this. There's a playlist on my YouTube channel. You gotta go check it out, man. It's called Twin Flame Science. And the first video, I go, yeah, your twin flame, most likely explanation, they're one of your past lives, which also explains the push-pull with your twin flame. It explains why they run. Pretty cool theory. The second video is the most important video on that playlist because I explain in great detail the science of this and how I figured out that your twin flame is your soul, is one of your past lives. Like if you had information about who you were in one of your past lives, you know who you used to be, right? In one of your past lives, and you had a time machine, and you went back and you met that person, are you guys the same soul? Yeah, you are, right. But guys, time is relative. Your soul can incarnate and reincarnate all around in time. So like in your next life, you could go back into the 1950s and be born there. That's really how time works. You don't have to go back, forward. You don't have to do that. So your twin flame, yeah, it's your soul, guys. It really is. They are your soul. And your mind really likes that because of how it functions. It's externalized, the mind. It's always looking out there. That's why they call it separation. That's what that word really is. Just go watch my other videos. I'm not going to get into that in this video here today. Well, there's also a video down below that I'll link for you about the words separation, union, and detaching, right? What those words really are. So you could just go click the link in the description down below, or above if you're watching on Facebook. But yeah, that's why you're thinking about them so damn much, because your mind really likes that energy. Why does it like that energy? Because it's your soul's frequency. Your television set is hardwired to that channel. It can't get enough of it. And then on top of that, again, the mind only looks outside for energy. That's why there's the obsessive thinking. Now, what about them? Simple enough. Well, you're probably watching this video because you know darn good and well they're not really thinking about you, you guys. At least not like you are. I mean, maybe you cross their mind every once in a while, and it just seems so unfair, doesn't it? Like, why am I the one that has to go through this painful awakening? There's this weird obsessive thinking. There's this meaninglessness. This is totally desperate situation, right? The whole dark night of the soul thing. And I can't stop thinking. Why don't they seem to give a fuck? That's why you're watching this video. Because you know they're not. They're not thinking about you, really. Well, there you go, guys. That's the reason. It's because of the twin flame push-pull, right? Again, go watch my twin flame science playlist. The second video, it's called What Are Twin Flames? So why is it that you think about them a lot and they don't really think about you a lot? Now, there is a way that you can get them to start thinking about you a lot. Yes. So go watch my other videos and we'll talk about that there. All right, guys.